Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's greet the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi.
Shabbat Shalom.
וזכור לדיבורך והשמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לקראת שבת לכולנו אחד כי מקור הברכה נדרוש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה ומחשבה שלום עטרת מעלה גם בשמחה וצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and once again, welcome to our home. Welcome to our Mikdash Me'at, our small sanctuary right here in our dining room, which is really so appropriate because the rabbis speak of our tables where we sit with family and take meals together and celebrate the holidays as being a replacement for what once was the center of the ancient temple, the altar, where they made the sacrifices. Today, we don't make sacrifices, but we break bread together and celebrate our Jewish lives in our dining room, around our table. So here we are once again, and so wonderful to welcome Shabbat with that version of Lecha Dodi, one of my favorites, and so spirited as we begin this Yom Tov weekend, because Sunday, as we all know, it's not exactly a Jewish holiday, but it is a holiday that in its essence is in fact very Jewish, because it says in our Torah, Kibud av va'em, honor your mother and your father. And Sunday we celebrate Mother's Day, and we hopefully show our appreciations for the mothers in our lives, for the mothers of our children, for the mothers who give so much and work tirelessly. And we remember our mothers of blessed memory who gave us life. And so we'll be sharing some thoughts in our service this evening about Mother's Day and its meaning. And let's continue. Let's turn now to page 2 as we sing some more Shiru Ladonai, sing to God a new song. And as I like to remind everyone, if you don't have them ready yet, go get your Shabbat candles. On the other end, we'll light together. Happy this Shabbat to invite to light our candles and to lead us in the blessing, Linda Long, who's celebrating this Shabbat her 10th anniversary of her return to Temple Israel. She grew up as a kid at the temple, but was away for many years, and she came back, and that's a happy celebration for her and for us. And Angela and Ross and Jack and Rachel Harrington are also at the house and lighting this evening in memory of their grandpa, Roscoe Jack Harrington. Take it away.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechad litner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom!
Thank you, Linda.
Shabbat Shalom.
And thank you to the Harringtons. That was beautiful, and beautiful to see you all together lighting candles. We continue with Baruch Hu.
Those who would like to rise in your heart or in your home.
Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. May be seated. Let us sing together the words of the Via Hafta in English. Thou shalt love. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorpost of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God. I ran across a beautiful prayer in honor of Mother's Day, and it's written in two voices, and so I have a nice surprise. Jory is home for Mother's Day weekend, but even more than that, because Jory
Announce that later, but you can do it.
and
It's a
his
good time to do it.
fiancee Courtney are moving to Stockton, and we are so excited. That's a very nice way to honor your mother and your father to come
All
home.
three boys in Stockton right now. It's amazing.
So we're going to read together this beautiful prayer for Mother's Day.
To mothers serving our country overseas while their children remain at home.
To mothers with children in the military who pray for their children's safe return.
To mothers who labor each day at jobs requiring tremendous empathy and patience.
Moms who are teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers, EMTs, and therapists who come home each night to children who need help with homework, a shoulder to cry on, and someone to whom their feelings matter.
To every mother who worries about the water her children drink, the air they breathe, the school they attend, and the neighborhood they live in.
To every mother who has endured the loss of a child.
To widowed mothers, divorcees, and single moms.
To mothers estranged from their children, and to mothers who talk to them all the time.
To super moms, working moms, stepmoms, and self-doubting moms.
To new mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers, happy and unhappy, perfectly content and utterly exhausted.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, and whatever you do, please remember this.
We wouldn't be anything, anyone, or anywhere without you.
Happy Mother's Day from all your children, and let us say, Amen.
Thank you, Jory.
Thank you, Jory. And by the way, we have a wonderful announcement. Today, a new baby girl was born, Ariel Nicole Stromfeld. And this baby's parents are Kevin and Sandra Stromfeld. And the grandparents are Gabby and Jorge Keurig. And this beautiful baby, 7 pounds, 13 ounces. And we're so excited for Sandra.
Because
and
we
Kevin.
remember Sandra when she was in preschool.
That's right.
And spent a lot of time playing at our house.
She was a baby, about 3 years old when we first
And now
first
she's
came here.
a new mom.
So, mazel tov to the family.
Just in time for Mother's Day. What could be more joyous than that?
Happy first Mother's Day.
We continue on page 4. Yum bum 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 ba ba ba, yum bum bum bim bum, yum bum 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 ba ba ba, yum bum bum bim bum, la 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 la, yum bum bum bim bum, la 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 la, yum bum bum bim bum. Mi kambo ka bahilin matonai, mi kambo ka nehedar bakodesh. Visham Reuvenei Israel et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam Beini Uvein B'nei Yisrael Oti Leolam Visham Reuvenei Israel et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam Beini Uvein B'nei Yisrael Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Oti Leolam And our service continues on page 5, and we invite you to rise either physically or in your heart as we chant together the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia gitehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Michaye hakol. Atah rav lehoshia, Mechakel chayim bechesed. Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Tzomech noflim verofech olim, Umatir hasurim, Umekayem emunato lishanei afar, Michamocha ba'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman nata l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai michaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. Excuse me. Eli, Eli, Shelo yigamer le'olam, ha'chol ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, ve'rak hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam, ha'chol ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, ve'rak hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam. Eli, Eli, I pray that these things whenever we sing Eli, Eli, which is a beautiful poem written by Hannah Senish, a young girl who was a heroine of our people. I think of her sitting on the shores of the Mediterranean, where she lived on a kibbutz as a young woman, and perhaps sitting there penned the beautiful words of this poem, Eli, Eli, that was later written. You know, somebody took the beautiful words and composed the melody. But I think of her sitting in quiet contemplation on the sand by the shores of that sea, and writing this poem, which has touched so many souls and has become almost a prayer of our liturgy. So let us imagine a special place for all of us. It might be at the sea, or in the forest, or perhaps the desert, or perhaps in our home, as we take a few quiet moments for our own individual contemplation and prayer. Tfilat Halev, the prayer of the heart. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. One of the unexpected outcomes of the pandemic is that businesses, now that the world is beginning to open up, are having a heck of a time finding employees to work for them. Now, there are several reasons for that, which I'm not going to go into this evening. But I do want to share with you a want ad that I ran across recently for what you will recognize as one of the hardest jobs there is. Those who have engaged in this profession or who are doing it now will certainly relate to the challenge. And for those considering it, I hope this doesn't scare you away. Here's the ad. Long-term team players needed for permanent work in an often challenging environment. Candidates must possess excellent communication and organizational skills and must be willing to work variable hours, which will include evenings and weekends and frequent shifts on call. Some overnight travel required, including trips to primitive camping sites on rainy weekends and endless sports tournaments in faraway cities. Travel expenses not reimbursed. Expensive courier duties are also sometimes required. Responsibilities. You must be willing to be hated, at least temporarily, until the client needs money for skating. Must be able to bite your tongue frequently, especially when client is speaking in the presence of his or her friends. Candidate also must possess the physical stamina of a pack mule and be able to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds flat in case this time the screams from the backyard are serious and not the client just crying wolf. Must be able to face stimulating technological challenges such as small gadget repair, mysteriously sluggish toilets, and stuck zippers. Must screen phone calls, maintain calendars, and coordinate the production of numerous homework projects, including the building of a model of a California mission when the client is in the 4th grade. 3 times. Must have the ability to plan social gatherings for client. This requires a knowledge of nutrition, interior decorating, logistics, and other skills. Must be willing to be indispensable 1 minute and an embarrassment the next. Must be able to handle assembly and product safety testing of many expensive plastic toys and battery-operated devices that the client has to have this year, will not need the next. Must always hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Must assume final complete accountability for the quality of end product. Responsibilities include, but are not limited to, maintenance and janitorial work throughout the facility. Possibility for advancement and promotion. Virtually none. Your job is to remain in the same position for years without complaining, constantly retraining and updating your skills so that those in your charge can eventually surpass you. Previous experience, none required. Unfortunately, on-the-job training provided. Wages and compensation. You pay the client, providing frequent raises and bonuses as he or she gets older. A balloon payment is due when the client turns 18 due to the assumption that college will help him or her become financially independent. When you die, you give the client whatever you have left. The strangest thing about this reverse salary arrangement is that you actually enjoy it and only wish you could give the client more. Benefits. While no health or dental insurance, no pension, no tuition reimbursement, no paid holidays, and no stock options are offered, opportunities for personal growth are enormous. And free hugs are sometimes provided, if you are fortunate. If you know of anyone who has these abilities and who is interested in this very challenging job offer, please forward this description to them. That's it. Did you sometimes smile and sometimes wince as you listened to this job description? I sure did. Because it's funny, but it also contains an important truth, which is that there is no job that we can ever hold that is as challenging, as demanding, as sometimes frustrating, and as always important as being a parent. There is no job that we can ever hold that is as crucial, as character forming, as indispensable to the welfare of the world as being a parent. It is a job that no one can really prepare for in advance, but in which you receive lots of on-the-job training. And it is a job that, with all its frustrations, brings infinite fulfillment to those who are brave enough to be willing to undertake it. I share this job description with you today on this Shabbat before Mother's Day, in honor of our mothers, both those still on the job and those no longer living, in order that we may realize how precious and how sacred and how unending and how sometimes frustrating and how noble the task of mothering is. Mothers, for some reason, get a bum rap these days. They are ridiculed and caricatured in movies, on television, and in the routines of comedians at nightclubs. A Jewish mother is almost an embarrassing expression. And yet, I still hold on to and I still love the definition of what it means to be a mother that is found in an old Jewish proverb. What's a mother? God couldn't be everywhere at once, so God created mothers. I think that proverb contains a great truth. Whatever we know of God and of goodness, of holiness and of dedication, we learn first from the example of our mothers. And so on this Shabbat before Mother's Day, let me say in advance, good Yontif, and God bless you to the mothers still on the job. May the investments that you have made pay dividends in nachas, in fulfillment, in joy for many, many years to come. As you know, that job is never ending, but it's so worth it. And to those of us on the receiving end, who are or who were blessed with wonderful mothers, let us remember we are commanded in the Torah to honor our parents. So let's do that. Let's honor our mothers this Sunday, and every day, for that matter, by showing our appreciation or by holding their memory dearly in our hearts. We would not be the people we are today if not for them. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. Amen.
Very nice.
I'm glad I got approval from the mother of my children. My better half. Let us say Misha Berach, a prayer for strength and health and healing for our good friends and family who need our support and need whatever strength that we can bring to them. We are thinking especially this Shabbat of Diane Dakin, Samantha Porteous, Craig Corin, Sally Glick, Randy Watkins, Betty Morgan, Ron and Margaret Ray, Gabrielle Lopez Smith, Ira Abramson, Bradley Cantor, Jackie Burke, Danny Reichman, Rebecca Williams, Bert Carlson, Ricardo Holbrook, Heidi Kranz, Philip Blair, Leslie Hirschfield, Christina Vogel, Vivian Culver, Stephen Bonacore, Lou Israels, Scott Neistat, Dora Lee Saxon, Jonathan Kelly, Lois Meyer, Mike Atarchi, Boaz Abramson, Susan Boivy, Gail Brody Bronstein, Barry Klein, Tara Crane, Victor Altman, Amy Weiss, Judy Platt, Wendy Obata, and Malka Chadnick Moya. And of course, we invite you to say aloud the names of your friends and family who you'd like to add to the Misha Berach, or hold them in your heart, or please feel free to share their names in the chat and share them with our Kehillah. As we join together in our prayer for healing, the Misha Berach.
We're on page 7.
Who bless thou once before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We add to those names mentioned aloud and to those whom you have shared, all of us who are in need of these same blessings for refuat hanefesh and refuat haguf, for healing of mind and body and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, O God, who heals the sick.
Amen. We continue with a prayer for our country and the state of Israel.
Guardian of life and liberty, grant blessings to our country. Grant our leaders patience and wisdom. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and may we never be lazy in the work of peace. Eternal God, grant blessings to the state of Israel. Protect her people, shelter them with peace, and grant them deliverance from the violence that surrounds them. May they live in harmony with one another and with their neighbors. May the bonds of faith and faith that unite the Jews of all lands be a source of strength and blessing to each of us and to all the world. And let us say, Amen. It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol. Lateit gedula leotzer breshit. Shelo asanu kiguye ha'aratzot. Velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem. Vegoralenu kechol hamonam. Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai lemelech hakol haaretz. Bayom havu yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad. On this Shabbat, with great sadness, we say, Yiskor Elohim, may God remember Marvin Primack, one of the pillars of our congregation and a longtime member, a respected retired doctor here in our city of Stockton. He is remembered with love by his wife, Buni, his children and their spouses, Todd and Jeannie Primack, Darren and Dina Primack, Terry Marius and Heidi and Tim Talbot, and his grandchildren, Allison, Robin, Sarah, Sam, Rachel, David, Emily, and Spencer. Marv was preceded in death by his beloved grandson, Stephen. And Marv was not only the patriarch of this wonderful family, he was a real mensch and a good friend to many, and we will miss him. And we send our love and prayers for healing to his family. May his memory be a blessing. We remember as well those who are in the Shloshim 30-day period of mourning and the Shana, the 1 year period. We remember with love Kevin Mitchell, Buzz Chain, Martin Coleman, Annette Adamson, Sophia Boysa, Jeanette Saphir, Mort Cohen, David Boivy, Luz and Israel Teicher, David Fortis, Fernand Morrison, Patricia Ventura, Harriet Berg, Janet Bullard, Bruce Soretsky, Saul Chadnick, Susanna Lopez, Skip Evie, Harry Harris, Shirley Bretcher, Judith Cothran, Evan Stein, Marcia Davidson, Adiel Fischler, Charlotte Constant, and Barbara Navarette. Zichronam Livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing and a never-ending source of strength. And we hold dear as well the memory of all those who have a yortzeit, the anniversary of their death sometime in the week ahead. We remember with love Stephen Baser, Morris Langsam, Marion Harris, Harry Bennett, Solomon Goose, Marilyn Kay, Taya Khan, Helen Guilford, Leo Robinson, Rose Meyer, Mildred Abrams, Roscoe Jack Harrington, Tono Giuliano, Elizabeth Saltzman, David Peterson, Lillian Friedberg, Leo Friedberg, Esther Rand, Daniel Borge, Roberta Kramer, Grace Markowitz, Irving Sisman, Rose Einhorn, and Joshua David Albert Garner. Zichronam Livracha, may the memory of all these precious ones be for a never-ending blessing. And we hold in our hearts all those who have perished in this past year from COVID-19, as well as the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, leaving no one to remember them. We take them into our hearts along with our loved ones who have died as we turn to page 9 and join together in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'yoma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha berichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen.
First, I want to answer a question from Tara, who asked what this was next to RBG. And we have had this little guy up since the beginning of, since our very first probably live stream here at home. Eileen Fortis knitted this, and it's a little COVID ball. That's what COVID looks like, the scientific version of the cells or whatever it is. And so we've had it up here, and we can't wait to not have it here anymore. Sorry, Eileen. But it's just
But we do love it.
We love it. It's our remembrance that we're still going through it. So that's what it's all about. Thank you very much to Linda Long and Jack, Rachel, Ross, and Angela Harrington for lighting our candles this evening. Thank you to our musicians, Beth Sanders, Steve Schermerhorn, and Donna Smith for beautiful music, and more still to come. And happy birthdays. A lot of people had birthdays this week. It's kind of interesting. Jeff Lindenberg, Jackie Seltzer, 21st birthday of Zach Harrell, Patty Neustadt. And today, Adrian Machado and Susan Carson's birthdays. So happy birthday to everybody. Hope it's...
And if it's your birthday and we didn't say your name, we're sorry. Send it in the chat. Happy birthday to you. Those are just the ones we know about.
Those are the ones I know about. Also, happy first anniversary to Amy and Matt Evnan Bingham. So that's exciting. Congratulations to our son, Jory Gwazdoff, who's moving here, but he's began his first week, this work week this week at Family Promise of San Joaquin County as the first employee, the program manager, and he's been working really hard already. And we look forward to doing a lot of partnering with him as our congregation is a host congregation of Family Promise. So we'll hear much more about that in the future.
He's doing important, meaningful work, and we couldn't be prouder.
And this Sunday night, if you didn't see it in the e-blast, check your e-blast on Wednesday. I think maybe today's also. Our own Paul Fairbook, who's home now, and we're so excited that he's home and healthy. He will be on 60 Minutes this Sunday night. I believe it's at 7 p.m. On our channel here, but check if it's at 6 or 7 p.m. Make sure you check it out. And he's going to
I think it depends on your cable carrier.
Yeah, he's going to be interviewed as one of the Ritchie boys, where he played a very important part in World War II, kind of like
Interpreting German documents.
That's right. That's right. I don't want to give anything away, but it's very interesting. And don't miss out next week, our special Shavuot service. We'll have a Torah reading. We'll be honoring our seniors as they go off to school next year. And it'll be a really fun service, so please join us. Thank you to Karma for preparing our Siddur, and to Ari for all the tech stuff that we couldn't do without him, and the harmonies. And thanks, Jory, for coming on. And I would love my boys if they were willing to come up and sing our closing song, O Say Shalom, because it's Mother's Day.
O say shalom bimroma, Luya say shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. O say shalom bimroma, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Woo! Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Ve'imru, Amen. One more time, ve'imru. Thought for the week: what makes you feel loved? Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and good Yantif. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Have a wonderful Shabbat and a wonderful weekend and a safe week ahead.
We love you.